Rain poured over the small cemetery like heaven's own tears. A thin girl in a faded black dress stood beside a fresh grave, her tiny fingers clutching a wilted bouquet. Her brown hair stuck to her wet cheeks, and her shoes, too small and full of holes, sank into the muddy earth. She didn't cry anymore. She had run out of tears long ago. Her name was Lily, only 9 years old, and today she had buried the only person who had ever truly loved her, her mother. Beside her stood a tall man in a black suit, face cold and unreadable. Rick, her stepfather. He didn't hold her hand or even glance her way. He only looked at his watch, impatiently tapping his foot. To him, the funeral was just another box to tick, a responsibility forced on him by circumstance, not love. The priest finished his words, and the crowd slowly dispersed. Rick gave a short nod to the gravedigger, then turned toward the car. "Let's go," he said flatly. Lily didn't move. She knelt down and touched the fresh soil. "Goodbye, Mama," she whispered. "I'll be good. I'll try to be brave. I'll make you proud." Rick frowned. "Lily. I said let's go." She stood, wiping her muddy hands on her dress, and hurried to the car. Inside, the silence was heavy. She glanced at Rick once, but his eyes stayed on the road. When they reached the house, her mother's house, but now legally his, Lily noticed how quickly everything was changing. The photos of her mother were gone from the living room walls. The scent of her mother's perfume had been replaced by the smell of expensive cigars. Rick's briefcase sat on the table, and beside it, a woman's purse, not her mother's. "Who's here?" Lily asked softly. Rick glared at her. "None of your business. Go to your room." She obeyed, climbing the stairs with her heart pounding. As she passed the guest room, she heard laughter, a woman's voice. She peeked through the crack. A young lady in a red dress sat on the bed, smiling at Rick as he poured her wine. Lily's breath caught. Already? Her mother hadn't even been gone a week. That night, she sat by the window, hugging her mother's old scarf. The house didn't feel like home anymore. Every corner whispered her mother's name, and every sound reminded her of what she had lost. The next morning, the nightmare became real. Rick called her downstairs. He stood in the living room, holding a small suitcase. "What's that?" she asked, trembling. He didn't answer immediately. Then he spoke, voice sharp and final. "You can't stay here anymore." Lily froze. What do you mean?" "This is my home." "Not anymore," he said coldly. "Your mother didn't leave anything for you. Everything's in my name now. I'm selling this place and moving out with Clara." "Clara?" she whispered. "The woman in red?" Rick's jaw tightened. "Watch your tone, little brat. Pack your things. You'll go to the orphanage in town." Her throat closed. "Please, don't send me away. Mama wouldn't want this, she said you'd take care of me." He grabbed her hands and opened the door. "Now get out before I change my mind." She stumbled out onto the porch. The rain had started again, soft but cold. She looked back at him one last time, hoping, just hoping, he'd stop her. But he slammed the door in her face. The world went quiet. She stood there, shaking, clutching the little suitcase that held all she owned, her mother's scarf, a small doll, and a faded photo. Then she walked down the muddy road, through the pouring rain, her shoes squelching with every step. Cars passed, spraying water on her dress, but no one stopped. She didn't know where she was going, only that she couldn't go back. By nightfall, she reached the edge of the city. Lights twinkled in the distance, but her strength was gone. She sat by the steps of an old bakery, hugging her suitcase and shivering. That's when a black car stopped nearby. A man stepped out, tall, gray-haired, dressed in an elegant coat. His face was kind, though worn with years of hardship. His name was Mr. Donovan, a self-made millionaire who had once known what it meant to have nothing. He noticed the small figure on the steps. "Hey there," he said gently, kneeling down. "What are you doing out here in the rain, little one?" Lily looked up, afraid to speak. I don't have anywhere to go." He frowned, pulling his coat around her shoulders. "Where are your parents?" "My mom's gone," she whispered. "And my stepdad doesn't want me." Something in her voice, a quiet strength beneath the pain, hit him deeply. It reminded him of someone. His own daughter, lost years ago in a car crash. He took a deep breath. "Come with me, sweetheart. Let's get you warm, okay?" Lily hesitated, but his voice was gentle. She nodded slowly. He led her to the car, the warmth inside wrapping around her like a hug she hadn't felt since her mother's arms. Inside his grand home, she marveled at the marble floors and chandeliers, but she still clutched her suitcase tightly. "You can rest here tonight," Mr. Donovan said, handing her a towel. "We'll talk in the morning. I'll make sure you're safe." For the first time in days, she slept without fear. That night, as Mr. Donovan sat in his study, he stared at an old photo of his late daughter, same brown hair, same eyes. He whispered to himself, maybe God sent her for a reason. The next morning, Lily woke to the smell of pancakes. Mrs. Harris, the old housekeeper, smiled warmly. "Eat, dear." Mr. Donovan's orders. She hesitated. "Do I have to pay?" Mrs. Harris laughed softly. "No, child. You just eat." As Lily ate, Mr. Donovan came in, holding a folder. "I made a few calls," he said. "There's no record of you at the orphanage. Your stepfather hasn't reported anything." Lily's eyes widened. "He said he was sending me there." Mr. Donovan nodded grimly. "I see. That man doesn't deserve to be called family." Then he smiled kindly. "You're safe here now, Lily. But tell me, what do you dream of doing when you grow up?" Her eyes lit.